Hey there, I'm going to be unboxing the GX CS4 pump today. I had originally recorded the audio just as part of my unboxing, but the audio quality was terrible, so I'm doing a voiceover. So this one does have an external power supply. I kind of wish they'd done a built-in one like they did with the CX3, I believe it was. It was really nice and handy just to have a built-in power converter in case you wanted to run off the wall. Just a regular outlet, which is what I think most people do. It did come with a pretty good quality hose. It has a Foster fitting on both the pump itself and on both sides of the hose, so you can actually swap it out for whatever hose you want. The previous ones, they were like a custom fitting that were hardwired. It definitely is the largest pump of the GX pumps that I've used so far. It's very hefty. It is not lightweight by any means, but it does seem to be pretty nice and sturdy. It does have water cooling or liquid cooling. I actually ended up filling this one up with just automotive coolant, same stuff you put in your car. And using that, I'll have a little clip here at the end showing what it looks like when it's all running with the coolant. The gauge on this one is a little bit different. It has two individual needles rather than just one single needle to indicate what the pressure should be set at. I haven't quite figured out why it has two. It cuts off when it hits the first one, so I need to look at that in a little more detail. The instruction manual didn't really explain that very well. Yeah, here I was talking about how I like the hose. It's got a 90-degree connector on it, so it doesn't come straight out. I feel like the ones that come straight out are pretty easy to snap off, so pretty happy with that. Build quality was all good. All seemed pretty solid. There weren't any noticeable burrs or marks on it. Any issues with the pump, and it seemed to be nice. The liquid reservoir, the coolant reservoir, did have some water in there, and there was a little bit of debris that I could see. Hasn't seemed to cause an issue thus far. You'll see once I have it up and running. You'll be able to see how it all runs with the liquids in it. But yeah, overall happy with the build quality. It was well packaged. Wasn't too worried about it being damaged in transit. Seems like it should be a good pump. We'll see how it actually ends up running. We've got the pump up and running. This is the first liquid-cooled one that I've had. When you first get it, this reservoir will probably be empty or just have a little bit of liquid in the bottom. So I filled it up about halfway and then turn it on. And then you keep filling it until you see it come out of right there. You see where there's a stream of liquid coming out, keeping it cool. And you got your cap here. On there nicely. It's got an interesting way of adjusting the dials. You spin this little thing, let's see if I can get the glare. Spin this and then you push it down and then it will hook onto the needles. I don't know what the light red needle is for. It didn't say, but the dark red is your max. I've got a Leshy 2, so I don't want to set it above 300 bar. I like to run it just a little colder. Make sure your bleed valve's open. Then you can turn it on. Close the bleed valve, and we'll see if the pressure starts building. I just have the test plug in there right now. Yeah, and there goes the pressure. Building nice and fast. And we'll see if it cuts off when it's supposed to. It's very quiet. A lot quieter compared to the old one. Okay, looks like it stopped at the light red one. Interesting. I wonder why it has two then. If it stops at that one. Very quiet compared to the last one. Really impressed, honestly, with how quiet it is. The last one was uncomfortable to be around. This one, honestly, is quiet enough. I'd be fine running it indoors. More to come. I'll fill it up to the Leshy and see how long it takes to fill up an actual tank, but looking good so far. We'll see how it turns out.